Boundaries are not walls separating you from the world. They are doors that open the path to freedom, peace, and self-worth. When you learn to say no, you are not necessarily rejecting others, but choosing to protect your energy, your time, and your inner stillness. Setting boundaries is not an act of selfishness or conflict, but a form of self-respect, a way to care for the sacred space you have carefully nurtured. Many people mistakenly believe that saying yes to every request, every favor, is the way to live well, but in reality, it is a way of forgetting themselves. When you are always on call emotionally, you risk losing yourself, letting fatigue and stress dominate. A psychologically mature person understands that boundaries are tools to recognize who truly respects you and who merely wants to take advantage of your willingness. Carl Jung emphasized that the process of individuation, returning to your true self, only begins when you stop sacrificing yourself to please others. Boundaries are signs of maturity and inner strength, allowing you to walk freely without being bound by endless expectations or demands. They open doors for you to live fully while maintaining genuine connections with those who respect and understand your true value. As you grow psychologically, you begin to realize that others' reactions are not measures of your worth. Criticism, misunderstandings, or cold attitudes often stem from their unresolved stories, pain, or inner shadows. Understanding this, you no longer personalize everything or let others' emotions control your inner state. Instead of reacting impulsively or engaging in meaningless battles, you learn to relax and observe. Every negative action, word, or emotion from others becomes a lesson about them, not you. Carl Jung highlighted that each person carries a persona, a social mask, and behind it lie unresolved aspects of the unconscious. Recognizing this, you understand that conflicts or judgments merely reflect their darkness, not your truth. Protecting your energy becomes a priority. You learn to safeguard your emotions, avoiding negative loops or stress. True power lies in the ability to remain calm, composed, and not let others define you. By releasing personalization, you free yourself from external control and begin to live with autonomy, freedom, and serenity. Emotional and psychological maturity means you no longer expect anything from others. You realize that expecting apologies, recognition, or reciprocation is a hidden burden that takes you away from inner freedom. Instead of relying on others for peace or validation, you learn to create closure for yourself. You release expectations, accept that not everything you give will be returned, and that is perfectly okay. When expectation fades, your giving becomes pure. Love, kindness, and generosity are no longer tools for gain, but sincere acts from the heart. Carl Jung emphasized that freeing yourself from the ego-driven expectations is essential to connect with your true self. By giving without needing to receive, you open the door to freedom while fully experiencing the joy of loving and sharing. This maturity allows you to live fully, no longer constrained by the need for repayment. Every act, every emotional gift you offer is a step toward peace, serenity, and a life full of positive energy, where you are the true owner of your heart and happiness. Emotional maturity also means understanding that advice is only valuable when given the right time, to the right person, and upon request. You do not always need to correct or guide others, as everyone has their journey and lessons to learn. Forcing, imposing, or rescuing others not only strips them of freedom, but generates negative energy and pressure for both parties. By waiting for invitation before sharing opinions or advice, you maintain the role of a supportive, silent companion rather than an overbearing intervener. You understand that all experiences, including mistakes and challenges, are necessary for growth. Even when you see a clearer path, others may need to face their trials to learn their lessons. Carl Jung stressed that everyone must undertake their own unconscious journey. You cannot complete it for them, but you can remain present, listen, respect, and offer guidance only when invited. This is a sign of maturity, compassion, and inner strength. Maturity also means clearly distinguishing between your responsibilities and what is not yours. You do not carry burdens you did not create, nor punish yourself for others' mistakes. Balancing honesty with self-protection reflects inner strength. You learn to acknowledge and accept mistakes without letting them define your value. Carl Jung emphasized that acknowledging and owning your shadow is part of returning to your true self. By taking transparent responsibility, you honor yourself and release negative energy, freeing yourself from cycles of blame or guilt. This is a crucial step toward living autonomously, peacefully, and consciously, where you are the true master of your journey and choices. Psychological maturity is not only self-awareness, but also understanding how to manage your words and the information you share. A mature person knows that not every thought, feeling, or experience needs to be revealed. Oversharing can diminish the sanctity of your inner world, create negative energy, or invite misunderstanding. Your inner world is precious, nurturing tranquility, wisdom, and personal power. Learning to keep secrets does not make you cold or distant. Instead, you choose words carefully to build genuine connections rather than seeking recognition or approval. Every word now carries meaning and purpose, fostering deep connection without diluting your self-worth. Carl Jung emphasized that recognizing and integrating the unconscious is a critical life task, and only by valuing your inner world can you share it properly. By speaking when necessary and remaining silent when needed, you protect energy balance, maintain inner strength, and create sincere, deep relationships. Silence can be the highest form of respect for yourself and others, where you live authentically without being bound by external expectations or judgment. Emotional maturity means knowing when to open your heart and when to protect your inner world. Not every thought, feeling, or experience must be shared. Over-talking can scatter your energy, create misunderstanding, or overly expose your inner treasures. Protecting your inner space safeguards peace, clarity, and personal power you have cultivated. Choosing words wisely allows you to connect deeply without seeking validation. Each word now carries significance, building real bridges without diminishing your value. Carl Jung emphasized that a key part of personal growth is recognizing the unconscious, integrating unknown aspects, and protecting your inner world. Sometimes keeping silence is more important than speaking. Silence is not avoidance, but a form of respect for yourself and others. You speak only when truly necessary, when words can create connection, emotion, or understanding. This is the power of maturity, living authentically, maintaining energy, and using speech as a refined tool to spread value rather than seeking agreement. Psychological and emotional maturity does not mean life is only black or white, but the ability to live with opposites without paralysis or imbalance. A spiritually strong person can experience joy and sorrow, empathize with others while maintaining their boundaries. They understand emotions are not enemies, and the multidimensional nature of experience is essential to life. This ability to hold opposites is proof of psychological flexibility. You do not force yourself to choose between suffering or happiness, empathy or self-protection. Instead, you learn to sit with both feelings, allowing them to coexist and finding your own balance. Carl Jung called this holding the tension of opposites, the ability to accept inner contradictions without immediate resolution. Inner strength comes from facing complex emotions, not avoiding pain, while protecting your personal space. Mastering this makes you emotionally multilingual, able to experience, understand, and express multiple emotional states simultaneously while remaining grounded.
This is the highest expression of maturity, living fully, flexibly, and peacefully amidst life's fluctuations. Psychological maturity is not only recognizing others, but seeing patterns, emotional loops, and expected roles they unconsciously repeat. Observing others rather than reacting impulsively, you recognize that behaviors and reactions often stem from scripts learned or imposed by the past. Jung called these unconscious scripts, stories, wounds, and masks we inadvertently replay.
Seeing patterns allows safe distance, avoiding being swept into others' emotional whirlpools. Instead of being an actor in their story, you become the author of your life. You decide how to respond, participate, and preserve inner energy. This is the power of meta-awareness, observing behaviors and emotions, recognizing old loops, and choosing not to engage. Understanding these patterns frees you from being controlled by others' expectations, attitudes, or actions. You live more freely, calmly, and author your own story, rather than letting the external world define you. This is a significant step toward maturity, inner freedom, and living fully on your own terms. Psychological and spiritual maturity is a journey back to your true self, transcending masks, roles, and societal expectations. Throughout life, many learn to pretend, please, or hide their true selves to be accepted. But when you look inward, you realize these roles only conceal your true self, the person you were before the world taught you to change. Peeling away these masks is not easy. It requires courage, self-awareness, and readiness to face fears, wounds, and external pressures. With each layer removed, you encounter the pristine, pure version of yourself, not influenced by expectations, pressure, or external judgment. This is essential to reclaim inner harmony and wholeness. Carl Jung called the true self the deepest core, beyond ego or social masks, where peace, wisdom, and inner strength arise. When reaching this awareness, you no longer chase recognition, power, or external control. Instead, you find true freedom, living fully, peacefully, and powerfully from within, as the author of your own life.